What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Living in Tampa Live. Excited to be with y'all tonight. I am with my trusted co-host, the hostess with the mostest. Good evening, Miss Stacee Ehman.
Good evening, everyone.
Happy to have you on tonight. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Stacee come sliding in the door to come hang with you guys because she was out running around for clients today, writing offers, doing the thing to help you guys make the Tampa life a reality. So I appreciate you, and I know your clients do too. So good job.
Thank you.
Awesome. And if we've never met before, welcome. We're going to talk all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. If we've never met before, my name is Juan Alcala. I am a licensed real estate agent and a team leader here with the True Living Group. We make videos that are all things Tampa Bay. We love it, right? So, y'all, we have been doing this Q&A live stream for like the last 2 months, month and a half probably. And I got to say, it's been one of the funnest experiences I have had. Stacee loves it. Marsha loves it. You guys are just doing so. I love the questions you bring. You help us get better prepared. I love knowing in advance the types of questions you guys like to ask. So know that we welcome you to the conversation here tonight. Okay. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your voice. We want you to know that you are being heard. Contribute wherever you're watching this, whether it be on an Instagram Live, you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, hopefully you're on YouTube with us. Feel free to join the conversation. We monitor that chat and we want to answer your questions live. So just know that we do have a plan for tonight, but we've been pitching those out the window. You guys have been so engaged with the questions. They've just been wonderful, and we're excited to bring that to you. It's been a really fun week. It was St. Patrick's Day last week, and if you've never been to Tampa during St. Patrick's Day, we dye the river green. The River O Green, right? And it's a giant party, and it's hard not to have a good time, Stacee, when it's 75 or 80 degrees out on March 17th on a Sunday.
That is true. That's true.
Right?
Especially if you're down at the Riverwalk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And man, what a cool experience for those of you who are able to enjoy that. I'm glad that you have. Let us know where you're watching from. Also, love seeing where you guys are watching in from, because we have people that are watching from Canada. We have people that are usually watching from the Pacific Northwest, out in California. We have Northeast, of course. Chicagoland has been big recently, the amount of people that have been watching and making contributions to this live stream. So we welcome that conversation, right? And if you're getting any value out of this, throw us a thumbs up, y'all. Whatever platform you're on, hit that thumbs up. It lets people know that this is worth paying attention to, and we are happy to contribute to that. So, Stacee.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day, right? Did you wear green?
I did wear green.
You wore green. That's awesome. Yeah, I did not. I was a slacker.
Did you get pinched?
No, I didn't get pinched, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I don't want to be pinched, but that's how people operate. My son found out that he has some Irish in him, which is hilarious, y'all. So like, we're the quintessential American family, I think. And what do I mean by that? Well, my name is Juan Alcala, right? Like that's about as Spanish and as Latino as you get, right? So my family's from Mexico originally, my dad's side. And my mother's family is from they're Scott Irish. So my grandmother's last name, her maiden name is Bryant, Bryant, right? And obviously I'm on Alcala. And then on my wife's side of the family, her family is Japanese, and her grandmother literally came over here from Japan as a child. Their last name is Nita. So my son found out he knows he's Mexican. then he put the two together between the Mexican and the Japanese and decided that he's a Mexican samurai. And then we exposed them to the fact that he's got Irish blood in him too. And he's like, so I'm a leprechaun also? I was like, dude, this is like, where are we at right now? I'm like, no, son, you're an American. This is how this works, right? We're all from everywhere. Like this is how the world works here. So it was just one of those moments. It was pretty funny, right? So you're gonna put on a green hat, a sombrero, and grab a giant samurai knife, and you'll be in all of the glory, right? Enjoying it. So I just thought that was hilarious. Yeah, it was a great time. So it was fun to do that. But what a beautiful day. The weather was incredible all weekend long, Stacee. We had just awesome weather all last week here in the greater Tampa Bay after suffering through one of the worst winters I've ever lived. No, I'm kidding. But it was the worst winter I've ever had in Florida. And that is not a lie. I'm telling you the truth. It was the wettest. It was the grayest. And I say that it is tongue in cheek, but it did, like, there were times when I was like, we're getting cheated out of our winter here. Right. Because we weren't feeling normal. Now I know, if this would have been my first year moving from Detroit to Tampa, I would have laughed at all of you and told all of you whiny babies to go somewhere else. Right. But being here after, celebrating that was my sixth winter, I think. Fifth winter. Sorry. My fifth winter. I was like, I'm getting cheated. I feel a little slighted right now, but it's back to Florida. Florida is Florida-ing, just in case anybody needed to know. So that is exciting stuff. All right, we got some people chiming in today. Let's say hello to the people, y'all. Like I said, let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to bring the questions tonight. Vlad says hello, y'all. I love that you're using y'all already. Vlad is sliding in the game. He knows what's going on here. The locals hate when you do that, by the way, but I'm okay with it. You're my people. I'm fine with that. Thanks for investing time into the live streams. Juan, can you tell everyone about the no-see-ums? Ooh. Stacey, have we ever talked about the no-see-ums on the live streams? Maybe.
Have we?
Yeah. Maybe once. I think we have.
Marshall.
So no-see-ums. And it's phonetic. It's not anything fancy. No-see-ums. UMS, right? Like, and what a no-see-um is, it is a what I would refer to it as it has like the bite of almost like a fire ant, without the continuing type of poison thing on the back end, but it has that kind of like sensitivity. That's the best way I could explain it. And they're so small, you can't see them, hence the name no-see-um. And they are definitely a tougher bite than mosquitoes. They're not necessarily common, but you kind of know where to find no-see-ums, right? When you're in a shady, damp, like swamp, and all of Florida is not a swamp. I know everybody's thinking Florida's a swamp. No, it's not. Get to the coast. It's not like that at all. But in those areas, especially in the summer months, man, those little buggers, pardon the pun, those little buggers will tear you up, man. I made the mistake one time when I was, the first summer we were here, I took the kids to a park. It was like July, had no business being there anyways. It was like 94 degrees. It's the middle of the day, but who cares, right? Took the kids to the park, Stacey, and there was these walking trails, and I got off on the walking trails a little bit, and then like all of a sudden, like one of the girls was like, "Ow!" and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And then she's like, "Ow!" and she's like jumping around. I'm like, I can't see anything on her. I'm like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden I started getting bit. I was like, oh, like I've heard of these mysterious creatures before, right? So like we got out of the shade, got back into the sun, and it wasn't a problem anymore. But that's how we discovered the no-see-um. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight there, Vlad. But thanks for bringing it up. Jonathan says, thumbs up to you, Jonathan. Happy to have you in the space tonight. Thanks for joining us. And bear with us, y'all. I think Stacey's internet is a little bit delayed tonight, but that's okay. We'll make sure we hold down the fort. All right. Gray Jen says, I just visited Stewardson Law School in Gulfport and went to St. Pete Beach. It was awesome. I got a much better impression than when I visited Miami for a few days earlier. Interesting. I would be intrigued to hear your perspective on that. When you said much better impression, I would love to share that with the audience. So sometimes people take liberties with language that I can't share. So if you, I'm asking if you want to do that, I would love to share your story and your perspective on that, because I'm interested to hear that. They're two different things, right? South Florida is not West Central Florida. They operate independently. They're both different. I would say they're built for different people. If you prefer a more laid back, I won't say slower, but just a more laid back vibe and lifestyle, definitely Tampa Bay is going to be a much better fit for you. If you're looking for that fast pace, like East Coast, like that phonetic tempo and you have to have that, then that Miami, Lauderdale area is probably going to be a really good fit for you. Right. So just sharing that with you, but thanks for sharing to begin with. Like I said, I'm intrigued to hear what you mean by that. Mr. Gantz with us. What is up, my brother? We're doing great. We're waiting. We're here on pins and needles with bated breath. Wait.
Yeah. Hi, Chris. Where are you?
Yeah.
Aren't
Wait.
you packing up your truck?
That's right. Yep. Probably packing it up, but I love that. Good evening, Chris. Good to see you, my man. Happy to make that connection. All right. So feel free to bring the questions. Feel free to connect, chime in. Let us know where you're watching from. Happy to have you guys on. Like I said, hit that thumbs up button if you're getting any value out of this. Stacey, I want to talk about something that has been fascinating me here. We've been getting a lot of questions about employment. Right. A lot. We always get questions about employment. I just took a phone call the other day. Wonderful family. They actually own a farm. And they are looking to get out of that business. I think they're in Indiana, by the way. But they're looking to get out of that business and relocate to the area. They both have great skill sets doing something else. And they are asking me, they're like, hey, can you tell me about this? And y'all, it's hard for me to give anybody an advice here about employment, right? Outside of being in real estate and what our clients do. You know, we see a lot of clients that are in tech. We see a lot of clients who are in education. We see a lot of clients who are also in medical. So those are some common areas that we see clients in what they do. But there are great resources out there, and I want to share a couple with you guys tonight, just to kind of give some perspective, the best I possibly can, right? Because it's such a great question, and I don't always get to answer it. So I'm going to get into that for sure. Chris says, home sold here in Cali, just waiting for June 1st to get there. Can't wait to meet up with you guys. Looking forward to it, my brother. Looking forward to it. All right. Grajian has kicked in. Yeah, I like the chill beach vibes of Gulfport, St. Pete, and the traffic seemed a lot better than in Miami. People seemed more polite. The traffic thing is no doubt. I remember the first time I went to Miami, I was like, I'm not wired for this. Right. I'm not wired for this. And I came from a busy area. We came from Metro Detroit, the motor city, right? Like I was used to traffic, but that was definitely an interesting change for me. And the chill, I agree with. The polite thing, I didn't spend enough time there out of the few times we've been there. I usually only go to events in Miami. Like, Stacey, have you ever spent any, like, did you take a vacation extra time? I was in college. I went to Miami, but I don't remember any of that. Forgive me, y'all. I was a young, ambitious young man at spring break. I was inebriated and don't remember a darn thing. So like the 5 days there I couldn't tell you what happened outside of things that it probably shouldn't tell you. I have no idea, right? Like it was not that time. And then the other times we've been to events. Miami hosts a lot of events, right? So I've gone to a lot of conferences and those types of things, but I don't have family in Miami, so it's hard to give you perspective. But what I felt was it was a much faster pace. It felt very, I don't want to, please don't take this disparaging. I don't have another word for this. It felt showy, right? Like everybody was on, and that's okay. That's okay, right? Again, the laid back between the two different, not one of them is right or wrong. Just know that they're probably a better fit for certain individuals. So I think that's great perspective. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Stacey.
Yes.
Incomes. So y'all, I've got a great resource. This just came out in the Tampa Bay Business Journal. They do a really good job every year of putting lists together. So they aggregate all the information and then they share it with us, tell us who their biggest employers are, what the companies are. And then this one is the highest paying jobs here in the greater Tampa Bay area, which I love. I know this is small. I'll do my best here. I think it's important. Let me move quick. So I don't want you to see the top 5 yet. Just set that up poorly. Let's start at 100. We're not going to go through all 100. I know people are like freaking out. No. We're not doing that. All right. What I want to do here is just kind of skim through this a little bit with you guys in real time and talk about what we see. Right. So incomes, those types of things. So you got income here, the amount of employees. Oh, we do have to go up to the top. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So you've got the annual median salary from 2022 and the annual median salary from 2021. You don't have 2023's numbers yet, y'all, because most people haven't filed their taxes, right? Well, that's not true. A lot of people have. Anybody who owns a business or a high income earner does not do that to the last possible minute when they got to pay somebody. So that's why it always takes a little bit longer to get that information. Okay, let me go back to the bottom and check that out. So at number 100 on this list of incomes here in the greater Tampa Bay area, computer and mathematical occupations in 2022 paid on average $100,000 a year. Now, there's 100 occupations. The first thing I recognize about this, Stacey, there are 100 occupations on here earning at least $100,000 a year.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, and I heard a lot. There's been so much talk about how Tampa doesn't have good paying jobs. And if you've got 100 different jobs, and this isn't, I mean, computer and mathematical occupations, that's an entire category, right? And it's the median, forgive me. So that means people are making way more, and there are people making less, but this is the middle of the activity, the median. Computer occupations earning a median of $100,000. Health and safety engineers, construction managers, right? Looking at these things. Financial risk specialists, it goes up to 102,000. Data science at 103,000. Commercial pilots making 103,000. Now, I don't know how this compares to where you live. Whatever you do here, this is a great list to try to compare. All right. Material sciences. I don't even know what that is. I'm a simple man. I'm sure it's something that you got some discipline that I don't understand. So material science is 104. Medical and health service managers, they're making a median of 104,000. Art directors, 105. That seems pretty darn good. I don't know how many there are, but that's really good. Oh, here's the number. So 54,000. Is that right? I want to double check. Yeah. Estimated employees. All right. Interesting. Where were we? Let's go to public relations manager, 130,000. Operations managers, 130,000. Petroleum engineers, 131,000. Air traffic controllers, 132,000. Marketing and sales managers, 133. There's always money in money, y'all. All right, there's always money in money. Judges, lawyers, and related workers, 133,000. Advertising, marketing, promotions, and sales managers, 132,000. Database architects, 134,000. Data is the new gold. It's the new oil for sure. Right? It's the new oil. Astronomers and physicists at $139,000. Financial managers, $139,000. We're getting up on this list here. Natural science managers. What is that? Who can tell me what a natural science manager is? I would love to know. I'm not kidding. I'm very intrigued. Podiatrist. Stacey, not only is there big money in feet on OnlyFans, also if you help people with their feet, you can get paid really well too.
Sure, there's a lot of people here that have problems with their feet since we wear flip-flops the majority of the time.
That's probably true. Yeah, the OnlyFans, it's a joke, y'all. I don't have an OnlyFans account. Goodness gracious. I've heard it on TikTok. All right. Take it easy out there. Take it easy. All right. Dentist earn on average 155,000. Love that. Computer information managers at 164. Orthos, 175 grand. Chief executives, 189. Pediatricians doing well out there. Thank the Lord that the people who take care of our children make good money. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. Family medicine. You're going to start to see a theme start to arrive here at the top. You got nurses, family medicine, airline pilots, co-pilots, and flight engineers making 200,000. Was there pilots down there? Was it mechanics? Airline mechanic. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. Sorry. So that's, I mean, I don't know what you should expect in that field, but that seems like pretty good. Dentist making 212. People love to take care of their teeth. General internal medicine, 215. What is that? Ophthalmologist, 219. All other physicians, all over. Apparently, they lump you guys in a category. 223. Neurologists making 224. This one kind of worries me a little bit. I would like to see the people that work on your brain and your heart making the most money, and your lungs. Those are the three people that I think because you kind of need all three of those things to make things go right. But interesting, psychiatrists. So. People who deal with our cognitive function and also our cognitive health are both being paid fairly well. And physicians, again, at the top, you got physicians, all other, and physicians. It's weird how this is put together, right? However, I wanted to share this with everybody because I think it's pretty neat to see. So this is the highest in the country. I think that's pretty cool. Now, when you come over to the article here in Tampa, in the region is what it was talking about. So I wanted to get to that and show you guys what we were looking at. Okay. So the highest paid jobs in the region. Oh, that's way better. You guys can see that now. Here are the top 5 highest paying jobs in the region.
We can't see your screen. You still have the other screen up.
Say what? Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go. All other surgeons. We're back in the all other category. And the all other category drives me crazy, but 397.5. Y'all, surgeons are handily paid, which makes sense. Anybody that is going to put a blade on my body, I am grateful that they are being compensated well for what they do. Now, this, I don't know if they consider this well or not, but I hope they do, because that makes me happy. Cardiologist, same thing there, 367. General internal medicine making 299. Chief executives making almost 300 grand. All other physicians. There's a common theme here, y'all. Are you seeing it, Stacey?
Yes.
Who makes the most money?
Doctors.
The people that take care of our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring that up right now to share with y'all, and we'll get back over here because we're always talking about, where the future is. People ask us all the time, Stacey, how's the market? Where do you see the market? They always ask the crystal ball question when we get on a Zoom, don't they? Where do you see the market going, right?
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to be able to tell you guys, I know where it's going, I just can't. But here's what I can, I think we can all fairly accurately predict that medical professionals will always be greatly needed, right? Our population is not small. It's aging. There's a lot of things to consider there. And I'm not telling anyone they should go into medicine. I'm just looking at it, for what it is. This field keeps creating more demand, right? There's more science behind medicine. Whether you agree with pharma and all those other things too, it's still coming through, right? And Stacey, we're on calls with clients who are relocating from Canada, and one of their biggest gripes is how long it takes to get things done up there.
Yeah.
We are always talking about how screwed up our medical system is, which I do agree. There are a lot of things broken, pharmaceuticals being specific, because the amount of money we pay for drugs is nuts. However, people come here to get stuff done because they're tired of waiting in other places. So I love that. At least those people seem like they're being paid well. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm seeing some of that stuff. Okay, cool. Let me get to some of these comments, and then I've got another resource that I want to share with you guys. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to bring the questions. We're going to get to answering those. If you guys are considering moving to the area, you have specific questions about maybe developments or buying a home or selling, just ask whatever questions you guys want. Best steakhouse, we don't care. We're here to answer questions, all things Tampa Bay. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We love doing these lives. We're here every Tuesday night to help answer these questions. Stacey, I think your internet's finally back and fairly stable, so that's good. You've been hanging in there pretty tight. Okay, cool. Heading up to northern Michigan. Frank, Mr. Paris says, northern Michigan here, it hit 36 degrees on the first day of spring. Would love to move down there, but the construction worker wages are way lower down there compared to Michigan. Again, I don't know. Right. And that could be true. That absolutely could be true. I wonder why, Frank. I'm not quite sure. We do have a fair abundance in terms of access to laborers. So that might be driving that down. There's definitely less unions here. That's going to be part of that also. And there's a higher demand for construction. Well, I can't say that, but definitely see some of those things. But thanks for watching, Frank. Love the contribution there, and continue to ask questions. Manny, my man, he says, I've been buying a house since 2011 here in Pennsylvania. And 2 years ago, I had the privilege of buying short-term rancher in Tampa for $305. The house across the street just sold for $400. Wow. Yes, sir. Good for you, man. Good for you. That's awesome. Nothing like seeing your hard-earned dollars go, start to bring some equity home. So that's great. Hopefully when or if you ever decide to execute the sale there, you'll have a bunch waiting for you. Joanna says, hello, everyone. I'm from what is that? Bayonne? I know I'm hatcheting that. New Jersey. And I'm almost heading south to San Antonio, Florida area. Heck yeah, come on down. Are you going to the lagoon?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up. We're excited to have you. Excited. Okay. You guys got great questions. Keep them coming, baby. All right. Caps. I don't know what Caps is, but maybe that's your last name. Thank you for asking a question and watching. All right. Just visited St. Pete this last week. Didn't have much time to explore Tampa. Was looking to transfer at my job in St. Pete, but no longer available. And now I'm looking at the same job opening Tampa. Got it. Well, they're not that far apart, right? 35 to 45 minutes, depending on where you're at. As little as 25 minutes if you're in South Tampa to St. Pete. Not a far drive at all. You just got to cross the bay there, but both great areas, man. They live a little different. The video I got coming out this week, guys, on YouTube will kind of break down some of that. We're actually doing the top 5 areas and neighborhoods in Tampa, which we have never, like we've done everything in the Bay, but we've still haven't yet to do Tampa proper. So we're doing that. It'll give you a little bit more insight on how those areas live and feel. So I think that'll be helpful to you, Caps. He said, I felt St. Pete was a perfect vibe for me. Not sure how I feel about Tampa due to my limited time I spent there. Yeah. It's hard not to feel a vibe when you're in St. Pete. We talk about this all the time, don't we, Stacey?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what's the one comment that people tell you when you take them there?
That it's more alive than what they thought it would be. Because they think St. Pete, they think older people.
Yep.
And that's just not how it is.
Shh, stop telling people. Shh. They're going to get mad at us. St. Pete is, it's full of fuddy-duddies, and it's a no fun zone, and the food is terrible. There's no culture. It is just one of those places you should just entirely, no, I'm kidding. St. Pete is amazing, y'all. It really is. People are always like, wow, I didn't expect this. They say it all the time. Wow, I didn't expect this. And man, it's so cool to be able to see people's perspective change in real time. That's the one of the best things I love about this job. What we do, because you get to see people's, like, you can see their faces, like their emotion about it, and it's just awesome to be part of that. I love it. Love it. All right. Make sure I'm pre-reading these. What areas? All right. Versetti says, what area of Florida do they have bigger style homes, 3,000 to 4,000 square feet? I'm in Houston, Texas. Me and my partner run our own online businesses, so driving anywhere besides order, pack up, drop offs. Yeah, so you guys you get to stay at home and run the business. Yeah, and the 3,000 to 4,000 square foot thing, that is definitely not happening in the city. Okay, so Tampa and in St. Pete. Well, let me take a step back. You can find that, but we're talking about penthouse type of condos that are going to be extremely expensive. If you can make that, 6 to 12 million range, then you can have that type of property. But single family homes, those types of properties are going to be found in areas that Stacey is extremely familiar with. Stacey, walk him through where you can find some of those types of properties.
Wesley Chapel, San Antonio, on the north side of Tampa, Land of Lakes.
Odessa.
Yeah, Odessa.
If we head south, we can go to Parrish, Lakewood Ranch. Those are areas also that are building those new type of properties. You can get resale, of course, too. But if you're thinking new, you can the northern suburbs and the Lakewood Ranch, Parrish, Bradenton area is definitely where you want to kind of eyeball. As you get closer to the coast, the homes get older. You can find newer homes in South Tampa and closer to the coast also. But again, they're scrape-in builds. And for anybody who hasn't never heard that term before, that means they have to tear a house down in order to build one up. And whenever that happens, it gets very expensive very quick. Right. So just kind of keep that in perspective. But people do it all the time, man. Whatever fits best for you and your lifestyle. But Versetti, that's where you would be targeting most likely. The northern suburbs, the southeastern suburbs of the city. There are some of those homes being built in like Seminole Heights, Tampa Heights area also. Those areas are what we refer to as up and coming. Right. So there are younger adults there. A lot of local shops and those that is seeing a revitalization. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. All right, Stacey, what does Eduardo have to say to us tonight?
Hey, talking about new construction specifically in Wesley Chapel, what are your thoughts about Epperson Community versus River Landing? Oh, that's a tough one.
We should get Denise to answer the question.
Yes, I think it depends on what you're looking for because Epperson is, there's a lot going on there. So if you don't really want to be in the action, maybe Epperson's not for you. There is like a north side of Epperson that kind of gets you a little bit farther away from the lagoon. So you can still be a part of Epperson, but not be right in it. Epperson, I mean, your amenity is the lagoon. There's really not much other than that.
Yep.
Whereas River Landing, it's a way smaller community. They have more amenities, like they have a fitness center, a pool. They have pickleball courts and open soccer fields, dog park, walking trails, that kind of thing. And you're more in the center of Wesley Chapel at River Landing. So it's just a lot smaller. It's totally different. So it really depends on your personality. Like, are you a person that likes to be around the hustle and bustle or not so much?
Yeah, I think that's really good perspective. Yeah, if you want a little bit more laid back, then I would agree with Stacee 100%, right? Rivers Landing, River's Edge, that community as a whole is going to be a little bit better in terms of fit. If you want that busy, like the best way I think that we could describe that is if you're a park person, right? You don't exclusively have to be a park person, but if you love going to like the water park and Disney and Universal and stuff, you're going to love that person. That's going to be right up your alley as long as you are a water baby, right? Like they brought a beach to your backyard, y'all. Like that's incredible. It's an hour and 10 minutes away from Clearwater Beach, which is really the next closest proper beach to you. But I talked to the people who live in those communities like, why am I going to go over there? And I pack up all my stuff. That I've got a 7.5 acre lagoon here. And if you go up to Murata, which is the one just north of there, which is literally like 13 minutes north in terms of drive time, it's 15 acres. It's nuts. So it's interesting. And I think your perspective is wonderful. Great question, Eduardo. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Keep them coming, man. We're here for you. All right. Sammy says, oh, I like this. Tampa or Raleigh? Now, it's not Raleigh for those of you who are from the north like me and Stacee originally, right? We're very nasally by, like naturally. Raleigh, right? Just like when we had the guy on last week from Louisville, right? We got to make sure we get that right. And but this is a great question. Now, these things are entirely different. I have spent time in the Triangle, and for those of you who've ever been to North Carolina or from North Carolina, they call that Raleigh, Durham. God, what's the third one? I don't remember. They call it a triangle there. It's a really nice area, right? Lots of green. It gets a lot of rain. Chapel Hill. That's the other part of that, right? So like UNC Chapel Hill's up there. And but a beautiful area. It's very suburban, lush green, hillsides, mountains. It's a gorgeous area. To compare that to Tampa, it's like one's an apple and one's a mango. They're just so far from removed from the tree. They're not the same thing. Are you a water baby? Are you a sun worshiper? You're going to get more rain and more gray days in Raleigh, not right or wrong. That's why you have all that lush greenery there, right? Because you're on the other side of the mountains. But this is a really a personal preference thing. How do you see yourself living, man? That's the question we always ask people. Some people are built for that. Some people are built to be in the snow. I don't know how that works, but some people love that stuff, right? So if you need seasonal change, if you love green, if you love mountains, if you love those types of things, then that might be a better fit for you. There's other considerations that come into play when you're making those decisions, but I think it's a great question. They're so different from each other. Both are really nice, right? Both are really nice. So I think it's a great question. Daniel says, can you swim in the Gulf year round? Live in Houston, but from the Midwest originally. Hate the cold. So do we. That's why we're here.
Especially cold water. We don't get in cold water.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what I'll say, Daniel. You probably will your first year. And that will be the last time you ever swim in the Gulf of Mexico in January, at least in Tampa, because those water temperatures can get down into the low 60s, which is, if you're in the cold plunges, that'll be right up your alley. But I mean, our waters are already back to warm. They're 2 weeks ago, they were brisk, and we got 1 week of sunshine and the water's 76, 77 degrees. People are out there swimming. It's spring break. Everybody's living their best life out there. So great question. There are going to be 2 or 3 months every single year when I wouldn't suggest it. Right. But I don't like, and because I don't like the cold either. So great question, man. Year round. No, I mean, you literally have to go to Key West to swim year round to see water temps stay in that 70 plus range where it feels comfortable. Joanna says, when is it optimal time to schedule the final inspection? Is it advisable to proceed with closing on schedule despite significant issues? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's a tough one. I guess it depends on what the issue actually is, because builders won't delay closing for little cosmetic things that they can get fixed. Some builders have it in their contract. They have 30 days after closing to get everything fixed. So it depends on who the builder is, for sure, and what the issue is.
Yep. Look at your contract, Joanna. It will be very specific to repairs, requested repairs, what the process is for it. Those guys have 80-page contracts for a reason. They spell everything in out there because it's 100% CYA to the builder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just make sure you dig into that. Most of the builders are very good about rectifying the situations in our experience. And our clients' experience as well. Nothing ever goes perfect, right? You got human beings working on things, raw materials. Things can go wrong. And be quite frank, your house is only as good as the contracting crews that are working on it. The brand name is part of it. You're buying into that so you can get quality crews day in and day out. But all it takes is one guy to have a bad day, and all of a sudden something's got to be fixed. So we've seen them, like I said, make our clients whole. Mm-hmm. All the way through the process so far. That's been our experience.
Yeah. And a lot of the builders too, you will have they all call it something different. It could be a walkthrough orientation, and that could be a week before you close. And that way you can mark anything that needs to be fixed, and they have a week to get it fixed.
Yep.
And then you come back the day of closing to make sure it's all been done.
Absolutely. Great question. Love it. Sassy but classy. Thank you. I'm glad you're back because I love saying that out loud. It's fun to say. Love this. All right. Any thoughts on the Marion area? Have you been to Marion, Stacee?
No, I didn't know there was a Marion.
I haven't either.
I'm from Indiana, so I'm like, Marion, Indiana?
No, all right. No, I have not been. Let's look.
Where is that?
You got me. Sometimes people ask far away, but I mean, let me see. Marion, Florida, Marion County. Marion County is in Ocala. Is that what you're asking, Sassy but classy? Let us know. That Marion County is where Ocala is, Stacee. We don't go that far north. That's like 2 hours north of us.
Oh, but it is beautiful up there.
It is. Beautiful.
And all that growth's heading that way. So.
Yep. Cap said, definitely more alive than I thought. I agree. He was talking about St. Pete earlier, y'all, for those of you joining us late. And welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to contribute to the conversation. Ask your questions. We're here. We do these lives every Tuesday night. For those of you watching right now, I'm joined by Stacee here, my trusted co-host here, the hostess with the mostest, if you will. My name's Juan. We talk all things Tampa Bay. So happy to have you guys on. Please feel free to contribute. Okay. Please feel free to contribute. Threads with a Z says, how much is a good price for a home in a good area in Tampa? That's a wonderful question, Threads. So I'm going to give you a couple different numbers here. The median sales price in the greater Tampa Bay area is right around $400,000. The average sales price is somewhere right around the $525,000 mark. Where we see a lot of people purchasing right now is between that $450,000 and $600,000 range. I won't say at the low end. You can find a $250,000 house in Tampa, but it's going to be in rough shape and it's going to be in a rough area. If you want a place that ranks high in terms of safety and education and those things, expect to pay somewhere between 400, starting from 400 is the way that I would put that. You know, there are areas in Wesley Chapel right now we're still getting people in. You know, if you get a 3-bedroom house, I mean, shoot, Stacey, we're getting people in what, 380, 360 for a 3-bedroom brand new construction up in Wesley Chapel.
Yep. Those
are very hard prices to argue, right? But if you're talking about 3,000 or 4,000 square feet, like what was it, Vincetti was asking about, those are going to be, you know, 650 plus in terms of the average sales price and what we see with that. But great question, man. Great question. Daniel says, what's the average price for a 1-bedroom apartment with a loft? Also, where are good areas from a young single professional? From 20 to 5 to 40. Young working professionals live in Tampa. It's less than 36 years of age on average, 35.9. And I know this because I just did this on the research in the video, but it is attracting a lot of young professionals in Tampa. You can expect to pay a very healthy rent when you move there. Anywhere $3,000 north. I mean, you're talking about a loft in a high rise in Tampa. You could pay $4,000 to $5,000 you could do it. You can find it for less. You know, the median Tampa rent in Tampa for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in the area here is like $2,100. So, I mean, you're going to be a little bit north of that, but somewhere around there. And forgive us, man. Apartments are not our thing, so we don't have a real handle on that inventory. I just know from what I see when I look this up, because we get asked these questions a lot, but not entirely sure on rentals. But I do know the people that live in high rises are paying $4,000 to $5,000 pretty regularly for a 1-bedroom loft, big, you know, 1,200 square foot apartment looking over the city type of thing. Okay, Rocco, thank you for asking the question, Rocco. Stacey, what does Rocco have to say?
My wife and I are considering Tampa area, also Sarasota. She's a nurse, and I work for management for Costco.
Nice.
Is it smart to rent a home the first year? We're thinking December timeframe of moving.
Cool. I love that question too. Love that question. Rocco, we're both going to give you a perspective here. So here's what I'll end. It's going to be specific to your circumstances and your situation. If timing is not a concern, meaning that like you have to sell your home at a specific time, you have to be down here, or you sold your home because you got a deal you couldn't refuse and you want to build a home here, it's going to take 12 to 18 months. Like if those things don't exist and you can afford to and you want to own, I can't see in any world ever spending between $20,000 and $30,000 to rent a house to figure it out. Now I say that, but it's because I have perspective. I live here, right? Like we know how to guide people through that process of helping them come up to speed on where they want to be. In a couple trips here, a couple weekends, we can help you clarify on the areas that best suit your lifestyle based upon what you're trying to accomplish. And then you guys would be able to make a more informed decision about that. So I'm adverse because I hate paying someone else's mortgage, and that's all you're doing with rent when you could be paying your own. So I'm just a little bit anxious about that, but I understand typically why people ask that question, because you're unsettled, you don't know the area, right? And those are all fair questions to ask. But the other circumstance, like I said, if you had to sell your home already, or you already sold your home and you're going to build a new construction, then that's the perfect time to be renting because you don't have any choices, right? Like those things make sense. But I'm not a proponent of spending money on rent when you can invest money in a home if you want it or that suits your lifestyle. There are some people that covet mobility. They may be, their job may change in 6 months and they may have to move. Then it doesn't make sense to purchase, right? So both sides of that kind of line up. What do you say, Stacey?
Yeah, I think that, like you said, if you can afford to buy and you're just not sure about the areas and you want to live here first, then I would recommend doing a short-term rental, like 1 month, 2 months. But I think you'd be surprised at how quickly you can figure it out, especially when you have people kind of pointing you in the right directions.
Yep. And that's our highest and best use for you guys, y'all. For those of you watching, wondering how to make this a reality, like if this is you, then this is what you want to do. Remember, I relocated from the Midwest. Stacee relocated from the Midwest. All of our clients relocate from everywhere. And that's really what we're built to do. Our videos are the front part of that, helping you get some clarity. And then when we meet on our Zoom calls, we jump on a Zoom call, we walk you guys through the maps. But what we're really doing on that call is listening to you, asking the questions so you can tell us what your ideal lifestyle is. So we can go, hey, this area, these neighborhoods, this is exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Come down, go check them out. Go have dinner, go to Costco, go to the Publix, go step in these restaurants and shops, and go to the parks and experience living here, even though you don't have a home to go to. But do that. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can start to get a feel and understanding. Yeah, this does feel like home. Or no, Stacee and Juan, that's not exactly it. That we weren't feeling that, but we did like this community. And then now you can go, okay, should we come back? You go home, have conversations. Should we come back down? We usually see people nail this in 2 trips. Or if they're here for like 5 days, they can nail it in 1 trip. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but I'm telling you, it's not. It is not difficult to do. It's just, there's always going to be uncertainty when you're making a relocation move. There was for me. Stacee, do you remember how that felt?
I do. I was very scared and nervous and a hot mess.
Yep. Uncertainty for sure. But that's what we're here to do, is to be a guide, right? We always tell everybody, like, we're not here to convince people. I don't have to sell you a house. If you come to Tampa and you decide it's not for you, God bless you. The guy asking earlier, right? Is it Raleigh or Tampa? He may come here and be like, Raleigh is 100% where you need to call home. Then you should, right? You absolutely should, because that's where you feel like you're being called. Trust your gut. Rocco, it sounds to me like you guys are a little bit further along in your life cycle. You probably bought a home or 2. Remember when you guys were home shopping, you probably knew within the first 30 seconds to 3 minutes of walking in the door of that house that was the one for you. You may have taken a few hours or even a day to make that decision, but you kind of knew when you walked in. It's the same thing when you community shop. You'll know. Great question though, man. Great question. He says they are also from, they're tired of the weather here in Nashville. Nashville is such a cool city, but every time I've ever been there, especially during the winter, it's gray. It's gray. So it's like, what's up with that? All right. Chris says, how far time-wise is Lithia to Disney realistically on an average weekend? Ooh. Hour and a half. Lithia
it always depends on what time of year and what time of the day you're traveling over there. And if you have to get on I-4, you just expect it to take way longer than what the GPS says.
Yeah. I think that's an hour and a half. Chris, it usually takes me the fastest I've ever made it to Disney from my house, and I'm right by the beach, is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it says it's an hour and 30. But I have a 50-minute drive from my house to Lithia. I think you'll make it in an hour and a half. And on a bad day, it'll be an hour and 45. On a great day, you might make it in an hour and 20. So that's my honest perspective. Right? So like, yeah, the weekends are always going to be tougher. I-4 on Saturday looks like Chicago on a freaking, Friday or Thursday at 3:00. It's just like, that's when everybody's kind of stuck in there. But
yeah,
great question.
Once you live here, you'll figure out there's some back roads you can take to avoid some of that too.
Yeah, let me pull that up on the map so everybody can kind of get perspective really quick. He's asking great questions. Forgive me, y'all. I should have this map out all the time, especially when we're doing these live streams.
Because we drove to Disney quite a bit from Wesley Chapel when we moved here for soccer tournaments, and we very quickly learned there were some back roads.
Disney Springs. Let's go to the resort. Hour and 6 minutes right now, but you're gonna get stuck up in there. You know darn well you can make it there in an hour and 6. Yeah. So that's if everything is perfect, and that's what it's doing. It's taking you right up 39 that back way, Stacee. So Chris, heck, man, you might prove me wrong and make it in 50 minutes, dude. Like, it just depends on where you're gonna go.
Well, if you do, please let us know.
Yes. I want to put you in the cannonball run if that's happening, because you are the man. You are the man. All right. Sassy but Classy says, yes, Ocala. No worries if that's not your area you covered. Just thought it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking the question. We're happy to connect you with people. Y'all, for those of you who watch our show, if you need help in a different area, Miami, Jacksonville, Orlando, Cape Coral, the Panhandle, Ocala, just let us know. We'll connect you to people we trust, because we're doing this all the time. People will come to us and be like, hey, we're considering Jacksonville or Tampa or Orlando or Tampa. And we have really good partners that we work with that are also going through that same thing. So if you need help in any of those areas, don't hesitate to reach out to us, guys. Like I shared with you here, we won't speak out of our lane, right? If we don't know the area, we don't try to service it. We're not doing you a service, right? Our goal is to help people make their dream a reality, not to help somebody make a nightmare come real. Right. So that is our focus for you guys. So thank you for asking that question. It's great. Okay. Riza, best apartment or condo in downtown for young entrepreneur to get their first place. Dude, you got options galore down there, right? They're building all kinds of stuff, right? If you want to stay, the Addition is awesome in Channel Side there, on Water Street. That's awesome. There's condos right down Water Side or on Channel Side itself. You can go back over to the One Tampa building. That is beautiful. It's right across the street from Curtis Hickson Park. There's some gorgeous areas down there. The West Shore is awesome. For if you've ever been down there, the West Shore is fantastic. And I'm going really fast without showing on the map again. Juan, stop doing that. So some great spots in downtown Tampa. This is what I was talking about as we kind of zoom in on this a little bit, give them some perspective. Channel Side District, that's where I see a lot of that young activity taking place. Also in that Ybor corridor where they're about to build this out over here. So Channel Side, great. It's a great time. Sparkman's Wharf, you can go hang out down there. One Tampa buildings here. And then all of this activity taking place over here is really worth looking at. So great question, Renzo. Great question, man. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay. All right. Stacey, this one's yours. We've got Wesley Chapel.
Wesley Chapel gets recommended a lot, but do you think Riverview, Waimama, or Parrish would be a better option for us if we're looking for new construction and easier access to beaches in St. Pete?
Ooh, great question. Well, yeah, I'll let you take this because this is easy. If the beach is important, this is an easy answer.
Yeah. Wesley Chapel would not be recommended over Waimama or Parrish.
Yeah. Parrish on this list, Parrish is the best fit.
Yeah.
Parrish, Florida to St. Pete, depending on traffic and drive time. Let's pull that up right now. Anywhere from 30 minutes to 35 minutes on average. And to St. Pete Beach is going to be roughly the same too. They're like literally a 3-minute difference. So if we go from Parrish, Florida to St. Pete Beach, as an example, because that's what you said, beaches. Right now, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's a 36-minute drive. And that's from the village of Parrish. Most of the new developments is about 5 minutes. Where you see this traffic right here, they're widening the road. That's about 5 minutes west of here. So it's right about 30 minutes. 30 minutes there.
Yeah, Parrish is the best of both worlds because you're 30 minutes to St. Pete. You're also 30 minutes to
Sarasota,
Bradenton, beaches,
Lakewood Ranch
down there, and you're 40-50 minutes to Tampa.
Downtown Tampa. Yep.
Yeah.
If that is important, that is the best location. Schools are highly rated. The community is amazing. You're early in on a lot of the amenities and stuff that they're doing over there. There's a lot of runway over there, y'all. It's a great question. Is it Miss Olia? I think that's how we pronounce it. And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Reach out to the team. We're here. For those of you guys want to get hold of us, our information is in the description in YouTube here. When we're not showing something else, you can see the phone number. That phone number that you see in the description goes right to my phone, y'all. There's also a link to my calendar so you can schedule time if you want to have a more serious conversation. You guys don't owe us anything. We don't charge people to get on those consultations. We're here to be a guide. We're here to be of service. If we can help you make a decision or start to gather some information, that is what that call is for. We love doing it. We've done 90 Zoom calls this year with people just like you. So we are here to be of service. Don't hesitate to reach out. So great question on the last one. All right. Lithica, am I saying that? Yeah. Lithica says, what are communities with good amenities and good location that we can find new houses, 4-bedroom, around 2,000 square foot in Wesley Chapel for a budget of $550? We can actually do it for less, just so you know.
I was gonna say there's lots of communities. That Meadow Point area is a good area.
Avalon Park
For sure.
Two Rivers, that's going to be in that price point, right?
Yes, Two Rivers.
Yep. Epperson, yeah.
Yep, and the new neighborhood, Wood Creek.
Yeah, Wood Creek. You've got options at that budget and this price point. We just put work on a client right now. They're going to do a 5-bedroom, like almost 3,000 square feet for like $536. Gorgeous house. The Hayden model in DR Horton. Really, really nice. So that's an option as well. So you're in that sweet spot in terms of budget. That's what we said. When we see that like 485 to 650 range, like you get a lot of home for your money in that range. It doesn't have the highest, these in that price point. If you're going new construction, you're not going to have a whole lot of wiggle room to make improvements to the home or modifications. Those are a lot of the tract builders is what we call them. So they're building a specific home, specific model. It comes with specific cabinetry and countertops, just so you know. When you get into semi-custom, then you make that jump. Typically, we're starting in that 650 range and working north of there. And 650 would be on the low end. So just sharing that with y'all. Carlos, my man. Dennis helped us out, rent a place in Riverview. We love it. You have a great team. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate. I'm so glad, dude. You went quick. My man reached out to.
Yeah, he was not messing around.
No, he was not. He reached
out. That Zoom call. He was taking notes. He scheduled his travel arrangements, and he was here and got it done.
Now they got a contract in place. Good job, man. Congratulations. Welcome to the area, man. Happy for you. Rocco says, you're welcome, Rocco. This is what we do, man. We love it. I'm serious about reaching out to us, guys. Please don't feel like you're a burden. This is what we do. Okay. We love it. We're grateful for it. Okay. Michael says, hello, Juan. I'm relocating from Long Island. Shout out to Long Island to Wesley Chapel. Is there any truth in the rumor that downtown Wesley Chapel is in the works? Ooh, we got rumors. We're in the rumor mill now, Stacey.
Yep, that's what I heard on the streets too. There's a downtown Wesley Chapel being developed.
And where is this said downtown Wesley Chapel going to be developed?
It is Westgate at Avalon Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, and they should be opening. There's going to be several phases of that opening, but the first phase should be opening very soon. The first building.
Stacey, we've been talking to people about Avalon Park forever, and they're like, yes. You know, and they go see it, and they're like, we love it. And now that's about to be the downtown.
Yep, and that neighborhood's almost finished. So there's only, I think maybe 2 more phases. They're finishing out that last phase, and then they'll only have 1 more phase left.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great community. It has 3 clubhouses. It has its own elementary school in the community. You'll be able to jump on a golf cart or a bike and ride over to that downtown. You won't have to get out onto the main road. You'll have a path through your neighborhood to get there. And the HOA fees are
reasonable.
Yeah, definitely. And the CDD is definitely reasonable as well.
Yeah, here's Avalon Park. We have several building over there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So really nice location, guys. It just makes a lot of sense. The area is really, really nice. Where is they've got, pull up the site plan really quick. And I just saw an aerial of where the current development stands, and it's growing leaps and bounds. Oh, this is tiny. This isn't going to show up well for you guys, so forgive me on that. But going back to the insights here, they're building a village center They've got tenants in place already, so they're growing that. It's not coming at the pace that everyone would like to, but when you're doing something well, you got to do it. It takes time, right? Mm-hmm. So they're doing a good job. They do have the resort style pools in place. They've already started working on some of this construction. They're doing events there all the time, which is fantastic. They're going to have an amphitheater there. A lot to offer in that community. This is just another one of these wonderful communities we have developing here in the greater Tampa Bay area, specifically Wesley Chapel. So definitely worth a look, Michael. So great question, man. If you got more questions, like I said, reach out to us. Happy to help. Happy to help. Okay, what do we got? Daniel, you guys are coming with the heat now. They always wait till the end and then they start firing the questions. That's good. All right. Daniel, what's a good area of St. Pete, Tampa, close to the beach within 15 minutes to move? Where is also the nightlife scene? I love the beach, so I want to be close enough to walk on a lunch break. Okay. So this is where the rubber hits the road, so to speak, because the nightlife itself per se is usually not right by the beach unless you're in Clearwater. And then you really got to be ready for living in a tourist area. St. Pete is kind of strategic. The way it's built, the bay is where all the nightlife, all the activity is happening, the bay side. Okay. I'm going to pull this up so everybody can kind of see it on the map. Tampa's nowhere near a beach. All right. So just so everybody knows, Tampa's 45 minutes to the beach, to the beaches that you guys are thinking about, those Gulf Coast, beautiful sunsets that everybody's thinking about. But when you look at St. Pete here, St. Pete and St. Pete Beach are technically two different areas. So I'm drawing a line across Central Avenue, which is the thing that takes you all the way across. That'll take you through Pasadena into St. Pete Beach. You can also take I-275 down, take that over right to the Don Cesar Hotel, the giant pink lady over there. You see it. Okay, so this is where it's at. But from here to the beach, we're talking 20, 25 minutes from downtown. So this is why people end up falling in love in St. Petersburg, because you can walk on the bay. You can walk along the bay. You have all the nightlife. It's a very good mix of urban and suburban. So it's got something happening, because once you get over the coastal towns, the beach is shut down at like 9 o'clock, y'all. On a Friday, it's lit till 10. Right. And I'm using the air quotes here because lit is a strong word that I'm using, which is probably inaccurate, right? Unless you're going to Clearwater, then you can have a good time till 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. But they're two different things, man. They really do live differently. So I just want to share that with you. But great question. All right. Vlad, having any new updates on parish area development, business moving in, land opportunities for sale? You've missed the land train. That train is set sail, dude. They bought up all the land over there. The developments, they're widening the roads right now. There's so much happening down there. I mean, Stacey, every time you go there, it's like it's like a whole nother planet every time you pull in.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much it's growing down there. So great question. Chris says, I love cars, would love to do the Cannonball. Heck yeah, man, me too. I'm showing my age now. The Cannonball Run. I just remember Burt Reynolds as a kid and like the whole, oh man, I love that movie. I used to watch it all the time. Speak of the devil, Denise, we needed your expertise earlier. Somebody was asking the questions about the difference, why choose Epperson over Two Rivers. I'm sorry, not Two Rivers.
River Landing.
Yeah, River Landing. They were asking this specific question. I'm like, who can answer this question better than anyone? The lady who just made the decision.
Yeah. So she did her research. She was in the weeds for sure.
Yeah, she made a great decision. I know she's excited. It's coming along. Miss Olia. That's what that name is. I'm struggling to pronounce it, so forgive me. You're welcome, by the way. Okay. New question. Okay. Anne says, hi, we've checked out some of your videos recently. Glad to see you streaming. Well, we're glad that you're here. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm looking down. I'm reading, just so you guys know. I'm not trying to be rude with eye contact. We're coming to Tampa and St. Pete this month to look for houses. We want to be in the 600K or under for a starter. Great. Feel free to reach out to us. Happy to connect with you guys. My contact information is always in all of those videos. You can schedule a Zoom call with us if you want to because that is the most convenient way to go. But more importantly, we can really kind of help you guys hone in on the areas and neighborhoods that will most likely suit your ideal lifestyle. So you're not wasting a bunch of time when you guys come down. So, Anne, feel free to take us up on that. If you have somebody else, put them to that task. Okay. They're not going to be as good as we are, but hey, somebody has to take second place. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're good at what we do. I'm not ashamed of that, but happy to help. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you. Anne also says we're having such a hard time finding new construction in those areas. I'm not sure what areas or is the price range that we were thinking, because we can definitely help with that, but that will be determined by your taste, by your expectations, right? If you're someone who wants a lot of high-end finishes, then you do have a tight budget at that $600K and below. Okay. Semi customization in homes and stuff like that, you're going to be tight. It's going to be a little bit harder to do that for sure. But there are options. So keep that in mind also. All right, Michael says, great info. I love this platform for Tampa area information. You are welcome. You are welcome. Appreciate that. Paul, Mr. Adder says, hi, Juan. Any insights on the plumbing industry in St. Pete and Tampa? Dude, I'm literally trying to buy plumbing businesses right now. I have a friend of mine who is been plumbing. He wants to become, he's like, dude, I will pay your courses. I will pay the courses. I'll buy the trucks. I'll do all the marketing. Because in our world right now, service-based businesses are king. The amount of people that have moved here, Paul, and the lack of contractors, I mean, people are getting out of that business, not getting in, right? People are retiring out of those businesses. We're seeing more and more people move. I just had a couple reach out to me a month ago. He was offered 3 times as much money to come work for a plumbing company here as he was where he's working back home. So, dude, if you can't find a job here, I'd be shocked, especially at good rates. And I would encourage you to check that out. You will definitely win. Service-based businesses and roofing, plumbing, handyman services, electrical. And the way it works here in Florida, y'all, is like we have to pass a 4-point inspection for you to get insurance on a home. Roofing, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. Those 4 things have to be perfect. Well, they have to be in great condition in order for you to be able to get an insurance on your home, in order for you to get a mortgage. So just based upon that and all the people moving here, you should win. I was literally talking about starting the business and calling it 4-point. So that's all we do. We fix the 4-point problems because we see it every day. Don't we see? How many transactions do you see that are held up by one of those 4 areas? And then the service provider has to come out and it's getting taken care of no matter what, or that house isn't selling.
Correct.
Right. It's crazy. So that's a great industry to be in. All right. Daniel says, thanks for
answering. Are on pins and needles waiting to get that inspection report back to make sure we passed. Because if we didn't pass, we know that's going to be a problem.
Yep, every single time. So it's a great question. Daniel says, thank you. You're welcome. Paul says, starting a plumbing business. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Are you inviting me in? I'm here. Talk to me, Paul. I am in. I'm telling you right now. We'd love to do that. Y'all connect with us. Reach out to us on Instagram. That's Stacee's handle at stacee.ehman.realtor. That is my handle, which is juan.alcala.realtor. Down there, you can see our website, TB Home Search. That's for TampaBayHomeSearch.com. That phone number goes directly to my cell phone. You got direct access to this right here. Reach out. Happy to have that conversation with y'all. You guys are awesome. We will be wrapping up here shortly, but let me get to these last questions. Oh, there's so many of them. Checked out. Got past that. Starting a plumber business. Denise says, River Landing is better because it's right in the heart of Wesley Chapel. That's good perspective. I knew she would have great answers for you. She said it's a smaller community, only 465 homes at build out, and with regional HOAs and CDDs, which is what Stacee said on that too. So agree. I love that. Thank you, Denise. You're amazing. She's one of the best clients. Like, oh, yeah. All right. Flashback 910. Hi, Juan. I left a comment on your video. Are these Tampa, Florida's 5 best places to live? About moving to Tampa. Might be moving earlier than the 3 to 6 month range in the expected area. Flashback, reach out to us directly. Okay. The comments are great, but like take me up on my offer, right? My contact information is below. Grab that. Schedule a time in my calendar. I'll literally show up on a Zoom call with you. We're kind of talk about what you're trying to accomplish, because it sounds to me you're a little bit tighter on your time frame. So happy to help, my man. Happy to help. All right. Carlos says, I'm looking forward to buy a house. Will take about 6 months to a year. Any advice for people like me planning to buy within that time frame? Sorry, Javier. Yeah, well, save your money, get your credit right. You know, I don't know where you stand on that stuff, but everything is always more expensive than you expect. Okay. Mm-hmm. And housing costs, you know, on a $400,000 purchase, if you were to do like an FHA mortgage, which is a 3.5% down program, which is one of the lowest, you're still going to be out of pocket 28 to 32 grand with closing costs, taxes, insurance, inspections, all those things. So do yourself a favor and make sure you set that aside. Okay, bud? That'll be the most helpful thing for you. Paul says,
you go to construction, they have incentives to help with that.
Yes. And forgive me for that. Stacey, thank you for pointing out the obvious. No, she's right. They're incentivizing interest rates. So that's awesome. We're seeing a 5.99 on some of these builders right now. They're offering, reduced sales prices, like 15 grand. And then we're seeing regularly somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000 in closing cash that you can use as towards your down payment. So Javi, reach out to us. Stacey, thank you for grabbing me on that. I was thinking straight resale there and not taking advantage of the awesome deals that are out there right now. Okay, Paul says, yeah, Juan, I'm down. I'm moving there soon. I'll get in touch when I get there. My man, let's have the conversations. I am, of course, open to it. Lobo 07103. Welcome back, by the way. I recognize the handle. So we will be vacationing there in June, starting in Palm Harbor, Lake Tarpon, great area. Want to check out Wesley Chapel and a few other suburbs. Well, your head's in the right place, my man. You're staying in a good spot. Lake Tarpon is awesome. That area is really, really nice on the northern side of Pinellas County. And Wesley Chapel is going to be, it's a great area. It's up and coming. It's not for everybody, right? So that's why you guys want to reach out to us so we can guide you to the right spaces and places that will end up calling home for you guys. So thank you so much for everybody. I would love the conversation. Love the questions. You guys are great. We were live on Instagram tonight. Awesome with you hanging us there too. Feel free to take us up on our offer. And our offer is, if you've got questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. All my contact information is down below. You can see it right there, right? TV home search. If you want to check out the website, there's a direct line. Also, you'll find the link to my calendar. It says schedule time to talk with Juan. Come in, ask the questions, guys. Don't be afraid. That's what that is there for. We don't charge people for those consultations. Our goal is to be a guide to help your dream become a reality. We love what we do here. Like I said, Stacey's been running around. She has 10 families under contract to move to Tampa Bay right now. 10 of you guys. It's all you. So how awesome. I know Marcia has not been able to join us here recently, but she sends her well wishes to you guys. Also, we get notices when we're done. Marcia's like, you guys did great. so much fun. And she's chomping. She's chomping at the bit to get engaged here too. And we have another member of the team that we'll be introducing to you guys shortly as well on these live streams. And y'all, like, just from the bottom of my heart, I can't stress enough how much you have changed my life. You have changed Stacey's life. You have changed Marcia's life. You have changed Dennis's life also. He doesn't know it yet, but we do. And we're just so grateful for the opportunities that continue to come our way. The amount of travel we've already had this year, people coming in over the next few weeks, a ton of you are coming in because you're on Easter break. Just know that we are grateful. We're happy to serve, happy to connect. Whether Tampa is the right spot or not, that doesn't matter to us. Just know that we're here to serve and grateful for it. Stacey, any final words before we sign off for the evening?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, I love all the questions. Love it. Keep them coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. And we're happy. Bring these questions next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. We'll go live again. If you didn't get a question answered, we will jump back in next week. We'll bring some more info. Watch out for the weekend videos. We do those in advance and they just get edited and send out your way. But we try to just bring the information that you guys are asking. The questions you're asking here end up on those videos. All right. So keep them coming. We greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Take care. And until next time, go out and live that Tampa life, y'all.